Anyway. All right. Then Christian Sanderson. We did a couple interviews. We did a couple. He did a couple presentations on the channel, and so we have this concept of the reflection. Okay, so he said there's a grid. I can't remember the post, but I like recalled it. There's a grid, and in the center of each node, this actually would be kind of something like that. And in the center of each node, I could be doing the connection thing, or the straight line thing. In the center of each node, there's basically a jewel, or a diamond. What's going on here? It's not up to par. I really should have did all this beforehand. I'll just kind of, I was doing it all nice and neat on GIMP with the grid. There's no point in, I'm not making a thing. I'm just describing something. Yeah, you can use language however you want, because well, we'll see where that goes. This guy needs a boost. Oh, now he's gonna be a little bit bigger. He's got strong feet. Okay, and so then ultimately everything is there, and then in the reflection of each of these jewels is as well the reflection of, where is it? Come on. The reflection of every other jewel. And this guy reflects with himself for some reason. And so then the outside, imagine you see kind of that, where you get this whole reflection of the whole thing. And then the corners probably have that, and then the next layer as well. And so then that would be like a causal gradient. And maybe it is not radial in that it more or less flows with this kind of envelope. Comes to a kind of point. And then maybe there's something there. And this is actually projecting out the concepts that line this system in a kind of gradient. and then you might have something opposing, or you might literally just have, if it were nothing, what it would be the resonant background reflection. Or it could be this that just goes on. But then in the sense, you kind of have to ask yourself, if this is not just the reflection in the center, and or more so that there's not just one thing, or one concept, if you will, one source projecting out all of the flow of what is, which is kind of negated by this. It's just, I don't know, it's almost like a shadow or something, or darkness. It's not like there's something not there or to be there, but whatever this is, okay, is like, all right, I'm gonna do it like that. This is it's a reflector, maybe it's a dark mirror, where that gives you the concept of what isn't based upon the reflection of what is, which doesn't make sense, but a lot of people will get that. And so then the idea is, we're not really looking at that yet, but the idea is, if this was like a ball, it was reflective, silver lining, and you have this, whatever these are, nodal points of awareness, each one is based upon a reflectivity of one another, but only as much as it permeates one's circle. If one no longer accepts that, they have the right to do that, and everything that is coming will reflect back. And you send that dark crystal energy back where it came from, and eventually it'll all, align itself. That's a whole bunch of stuff that I've been trying to describe is in there. And then I'll put a link to Christian's post if I can find it. But it was that in the center, there's a series of nodal points, and in the center of each nodal point there's a jewel, and then in each jewel is its own light. I don't know if he said that, but is the reflection of every other jewel. And then in the reflection of every other jewel, there's basically multiple layers of that. And you can also see that as kind of basically having layers, where you have, this is where their first reflection, and you have this many reflections to every one. And then the next one, let's see, the first, first multiplication or exponent, or magnitude of order, or iteration, or layer, or limitation of one's awareness, if you want to use a magical term like dimensional awareness, but essentially that's what the dimensions are indicating. Layers of increasing magnitudes of order, describing a self-referential informational values within one overarching system. And it's also like saying you have to look at this mathematically and break down what those perceptual layers could be using your mind. And in that sense, they're kind of virtual layers. But in that sense, these floaty things everybody sees and connects with and uses to make food and drink and talk to people and blah, blah, blah. Well, there's the same reflection within another system. It's just broken down so much, and we're seeing portions of it played out, separated by the what we think we're seeing, if you will, or excuse me, the reflection and the source, that we get this very, very, it enables us to see the separation, because both of this is our awareness, but one we're aware of and one we're not. And so with the inclusion of this type of system, which is pretty much, it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's not a mechanism. It's not a product. It's not an act. It's like a living dream machine or something, or system.